Hey y'all, it's Miss Solomon here, and you've arrived at the last video of the series to link Ovid's Metamorphoses with contemporary thought. We will finish up with the Venus and Adonis myth, and I'll share some final closing thoughts for all of us to think about as we move into our assessments for the week. Ovid closes Book 10 with a love story that is lush and tragic. Venus, the goddess of love, the Greek equivalent Aphrodite, falls passionately in love with, well, for the beautiful mortal Adonis, who we saw the birth of at the end of the Pygmalion myth. And so, despite her warnings, her meaning Venus, to Adonis about the dangers of hunting wild beasts, Adonis insists on chasing a fierce boar. So, hunting in antiquity, and sometimes even as the way that it's perceived today, it was the ultimate act of a masculine person. And what happens is when Adonis goes out to hunt, the fierce boar kills him. And Adonis, unfortunately, he doesn't make it. And Venus is going to arrive a little bit too late, cradling his lifeless body in grief. And so rather than letting death end the tale, Ovid transforms tragedy into this ongoing beauty. Venus is going to pour nectar on Adonis's blood from what is depicted as a castration, and from it springs the delicate red anemone flower, whose petals fall quickly and return each year. The closing lines from our reading assignment on the Venus and Adonis myth are here, and I hope that you'll follow along with me. And as she spoke, she sprinkled his blood with sweet nectar, which made it swell up like a transparent bubble that rises from much. And in no more than an hour, a flower sprang out of that soil, blood red in its color, like the flesh that lies underneath the rough rind of the seed hiding pomegranate. Brief is its season, for the winds from which it takes its name, the anemone, shake off those petals so lightly, clinging and fated to perish. End scene. This metamorphosis captures an Ovidian staple. Love and beauty survive, not by avoiding its loss, but by transforming it. I like this transformation too because it balances the masculine and the feminine in a seemingly virtuous way. To transform a traditionally masculine man into a delicate, vibrant flower like the anemone, it's going to complexly symbolize a bunch of things all at once. So even if you Google it and you see what the anemone symbolizes, it signifies protection, anticipation, forsaken love, and new beginnings. And it will, since then, be associated with this myth and this love story. The Venus and Adonis myth on our list continues to resonate in contemporary art and literature, just as the other ones have. The fleeting anemone flower invites reflection on ecological cycles and the fragility of natural beauty in the face of climate change. It even makes us cognizant, I think, of our own fleeting natural beauty, and what can be done to preserve that beauty, even as it will surely fade. Another way that this myth resonates with us today is how it parallels with modern explorations of grief, because creation becomes like a memorial. Venus is going to memorialize Adonis, transforming from him into a flower of sorts. Anytime that we write music, put a little ditty together. If we have poetry that we even read here, it's almost as if Ovid is using this creation as a memorial, if it's for himself, if it's for what he's critiquing of the Roman Empire, if it's him putting his mark on how these myths can be interpreted. And then we've got even visual art where we may have lost somebody and we would draw them. Or if we know that we're going to be leaving home and we want to memorialize that feeling of home in that picture, we would create something as a memorial. And that speaks very loudly about how Venus, in particular in this myth, is going to keep love alive through the transformation. And so, from the universe's creation, from the beginning, to this bloom of a single flower, Ovid proves that stories never end, they transform. The ending of the epic poem is not really an ending in the traditional sense, but rather a new beginning that instills the fleeting nature of life. Each episode we've looked at in this video series is a myth and a meditation on storytelling. Each one is a meta-narrative of its own. We have traced some of the ways that these tales ripple through Western art, literature, and modern media. We did not exhaust all of those resources, but this is a baby introduction, I think, to some of those. And hopefully, we will better see how ancient narrative keeps shaping contemporary thought, because it allows us the safe space to think about some of the issues that they bring up that overlap with our contemporary discourse. And maybe we can call Ovid's Metamorphoses an original remix where every myth, like every generation of readers, changes form, but never stops speaking. And so, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all of the best on your upcoming assignments this week. See you later.